Hello again and welcome to another video. This is our 2019 BMW 435d xDrive M Sport Auto. So it has the 8-speed sports transmission with the paddle shift. The car's only covered 23,777 miles with full service history. The car is finished in mineral grey metallic. We've got some really great options on this car, so it's got quite a few £1,000s of options. We've also fitted some really nice black gloss grills, the kidney grills down at the front. The whole car has been detailed and machine polished. Now we're going to start at the front, so if we come in straight away, you'll notice this has got, in fact, if I come round to the middle, this has got the adaptive LED lights, which are quite an expensive option, and they're a different headlight altogether. So the adaptive lights turn with the steering, so when you're cornering, it will take you around. I'll just bring the camera up onto here. So the lights before this were just like the xenon LED lights, and they had like tubes, but this is the later ones, and they're a much nicer looking headlight if you look at that. So we'll just come back out. We've got front and rear parking sensors. All of the paintwork's in beautiful condition. We've got surround view. You can see one of the cameras just on the side of the bumper. Come down low, show you around the front. Let me just move around to the other side, and there are no nasty marks. I'm just going to come up onto the top. It's in really, really nice condition, this car. Let's bring you along here and up onto the top of the bonnet. Beautiful shine. The windscreen as well. There's not really any pitting in the windscreen. It's previously owned by a lady. The car was registered 24th of April 19, and she bought it from BMW in the September of the same year. So it was a demonstrator when she purchased it, and we've now taken it off of her hands. I'll just show you all of the roof. Again, no bird dropping stains, no scratches, nothing eaten into the paintwork. And the same with the boot lid as well. The rear glass, it has the sun protection glass, so it reflects the heat out of the car. We've got comfort access on this car, so keyless entry, and you can also use the use your foot at the back to open the boot, which I'll show you. So that's the side profile. We've got the 19-inch 704M alloy wheels with the M Sport brakes. There's a really good set of Bridgestone Potenza tyres on the car with lots of tread. You can see the blue M Sport brakes in there. They're a bigger caliper, a bigger pad, so the brakes are stronger. And there's the rear wheel, etc. Now what I want to do is just show you down the side of the car. So if we come down here and look down, you can see how nice and clean the panels are. And then onto the back bumper and the exhaust pipes. We'll come around the other side in a minute. There's no damage, all in lovely condition. Now I'll just take you out and bring the camera around. Let's just come back out. We've got the oyster interior on this car as well, so it gives a really nice contrast. Just trying to come around, keep it in focus. And then again, if we look down the side of the car, you see how true the panels. We get different lighting and different shading from the reflections, so the panels look, the reflection's always different depending what's in the background. You've got the camera on this side again. So I'll bring you in and show you the driver's wheel. All nice and clean. Move on to the back wheel. No damage on there either. And then all up around the filler cap. No scratches around here. If we open this up, we've got the AdBlue as well. So what the AdBlue does is basically splits the nitrous oxide, which diesel cars give out, into nitrogen and oxygen, which is safe for the environment. So it actually cleans the emissions. And 10 litres lasts quite a few thousand miles. I think it's like 5,000–6,000 miles. So you don't have to refill it very often. And when it needs refilling, it tells you in the car. So nice and easy. All of the rear lights have all been machine polished. Got the nice LED lights at the back. Just come back. We've got rear camera, part of the surround view. Let's try and keep this in focus. You can just see how nice the car looks. And I've got the key in my pocket, so I'm just gonna put my foot underneath. I didn't show you my foot because I've got flip-flops on today because it's so hot. We're at that heat wave at the moment, the second heat wave. And as you can see, we have a metal roof, so it's like an oven in here once it warms up. So all up there, both parcel shelves in the car. We've got the extended storage, which gives you a 12-volt socket up in the corner there, and the elasticated little band there, and these little lugs for the cargo net to hold anything in the boot. I think the cargo net is in the back there. Doesn't look like it's ever been used, but that clips in to the little lugs here to hold anything down. If we have a look along the top of the back bumper, and if you look at all the plastic trim, all in really nice condition. I'll just bring you around onto this side. All up around the top here. So in really nice condition, no damage on the back of the seats either. And they're a 60/40 split, of course. So up on the top here, because we've got the comfort access, not only can you just put the boot down, but you can lock the car by pressing the padlock. So that's an additional button. I'm just going to swoop my foot under there one more time. You'll see that the lights flash. And down comes the boot. So if you're lifting anything out the boot, that makes it nice and easy. And just while we're here, we'll look down the car on this side. All of the edges of the doors, there's no chipping or anything, no scratches. We've got the comfort access, so I just put some paperwork with all the spec. Let's get this in focus. So you'll see the little serrated bit on the top there. I've got the key in my pocket. Now if you watch the button, when I put my finger on the top, it locks. When you put your hand inside, it unlocks. So a really nice feature. I'm just going to come back out now, show you the car from this side, if I can come back far enough. Just about, without falling over the Toyota Hilux. Okay, we'll come round. In fact, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do the under the bonnet first for a change. So we'll pop that. Now the other thing that the customer has put in this car is front and rear cameras that record. So that's all plugged into the OBD socket. And when the ignition goes on, whoops, it records. And I think you can set it to record if anyone comes near the car as well. All lovely and clean under here. All of the leaves are all hoovered out in here before any jet wash goes anywhere near anything. But to be honest with you, the jet washing is just very minimal around the outside. The engine bays are cleaned mainly with products equivalent to sort of the WD-40s, and they clean very well all the sort of dust and any of the little waxy deposits you get from when they're new. As you can see, it's really, whoops, there we go, all clean in there, not full of leaves or anything, and they're all up along the top. So this is the 315 PS engine, so it's around about 310 brake horsepower. There's a huge amount of torque. I think it's about 650 newton meters of torque. It's a twin turbo. Now, they all say twin power turbo on a lot of the BMW engines. The 335 actually does have two turbos. So it has a smaller turbo, which will spin up earlier at lower revs, and then the larger turbo will come in after that. And so you get a nice smooth delivery of power. We do a Celtic remap, and it actually takes these up to 400 brake horsepower. But it maintains fuel economy as long as you're driving it efficiently. And if you use the Eco Pro setting for the drive modes, you'll get really good economy. You can get as much as 50 to the gallon on one of these, according to how you drive. So let's take a look inside the car. Incidentally, the wing mirrors are all in really nice condition. I've checked the other one as well. So inside, we've got the black gloss finisher at the top of the door card, and then the brushed aluminium, which is one of the more harder wearing surfaces that the BMW do. We've got HARMAN KARDON speakers, two in the door there, one up in front of the professional media screen. There are more under the seats and more in the back that I'll show you. I think there's about 16 in total, with a bigger amplifier as well. We've got puddle lights underneath. You can see just how nice and clean it is under there as well. Let's try and keep this in focus. And then all of the door shuts, nice and bright and clean. No scuff marks. And then we've got the electric seats on this model. And we've got electric bolster. So that's the little rocker button in black at the back there. And that will inflate the bolsters this side and the other side. The center of the front part of the seat pulls forward to give you extra support. The Oyster interior continues along the bottom of the dash as well, which is nice. And we've got all the books in here and the OBD cover, which is taken off now for the cameras. That's all in there as well. And we've got the grey stitching on these Oyster seats. I think it's called extended highlight or something like that. And then the little button on the side of the headrest. When the headrests come forward like so, you just press that and it pops it back. Center armrest, which I think is sliding. We'll check that out in a minute. The iDrive control wheel, which you can write on the top of. Like I said, we'll show you more when we come around the other side. So the rear door, again, you can see the speakers. No damage on the door card at all. The seat belts haven't been trapped in the door, so it's all nice. It's got the puddle lights again, and all the door shuts. No damage in there either. The back of the front seats, no scuff marks. No, nothing on there. And then if I just pop this up here, and we'll zoom in if we can. Everything's nice and clean down there, and just to show you the backs of the seats. And there's no stretch marks. We've got the Isofix center armrest as well, headrest, plenty of room in there. The roof sort of scoops itself up at the back to give you more headroom. Don't know if you can see that. No, it's too dark in there. So we'll come round to the other side. And again, edge of the door. Door card on this side. There's all ambient lighting under the black gloss as well, which you can have in sport, which is a white LED, or classic, which is the amber traditional colour that BMW have used for years. Door shuts again, quite bright on this side. We've got skylights above, but there we go. All of the shuts all the way around. And the back of the driver's seat as well. Just show you the seating on this side, the base. And again, no stretch marks in the leather or anything. Okay, so driver's door, no scratches. Oh, the other thing to point out, if I lock it and unlock it, we've got the traditional LED lights under all the door handles as well. Just going to turn the lights off for a second. So we've got the folding electric mirrors as well, which are anti-dazzle. So you can press this button and the mirrors will fold in, fold out. If you press and hold the lock button on the key fob, they will actually fold in as well. And depending what side you leave the left and right switch for each mirror, the near side mirror will dip when you go into reverse. And again, to show you. And then this is part of the extended storage, the little cubby hole there. And you see we've got this little plug-in unit with an on-off switch. And we've got a camera up on the top here. I don't know if you can see that, the reflection. And there's also, there's one in the boot. In fact, I'll just come back and show you. Just up on the top there. Probably not in focus, but I'm struggling to hold the camera at the same time. Let's come back to the car. Front and rear fog lights, auto lights. We've got memory on the driver's side, which will memorise the wing mirror settings as well. If I come down like so, you can see just how nice the leather is on the seat and the bolsters. Let's bring you up and around. Okay, so we're going to jump in. Just going to put the seat back a little bit. We'll shut the door because I think I'm going to have to start the car and put the air conditioning on because it is boiling. Okay, so let's get this on cold. So straight away you'll notice we've got the digital cockpit. So we're currently in what they call comfort setting. These settings are adjusted by the drive modes just here. I can get that in focus. There you go, Eco Pro through to Sport. You can see a camera button there as well. There you go, there's the camera coming on. Starting normal recording, there you go. So, we've also got heads-up display. Now, I'm just going to try and zoom in, and you'll see on that black bumper, 0 miles per hour, and then you can see me flicking through the DAB channels. So we've got a mode button on the steering wheel, we've got FM, AM, music collections, the 80 gig hard drive in the car. You can save your music on, saved radio stations, back to DAB, and then if you press the phone button, when the phone's connected, it will show the last dialed numbers. You can adjust the heads-up display up and down, and you can adjust the brightness on it as well. Now the mileage, if we use the little BC button here, you'll see 23,777. Now, if we go up onto the media here, this is all touchscreen. We go into my vehicle, and it's the second one down. We go into displays. This will show you the heads-up display. That's all of the information that you'll see on the heads-up display, so your navigation, cruise control, speed, entertainment, telephone, messages, and then you can adjust the brightness, the height and the rotation, sort of, so if it feels a little bit like it's off like that, you can centerize it and get it straight. Now if you take you can turn the heads-up display off. Now because we've got the digital cockpit, and it's quite rare to find digital cockpit and heads-up display on the car. Now if we press the mode button now, you'll see that the display has come down into what's the equivalent of the black panel display. So we can flick through down here, because with your sunglasses on it's very hard to see the heads-up display because the polarized lenses, if you've got expensive glasses that is. So we'll pop that back on. We'll just go back into here and heads up back on, so that's back to there. And while we're here, so this car's due to go in for a service. It's not due its next service just yet, but it's going to be done. The oil change is not due. This is the AdBlue. So you can see we've got 4,500 miles remaining on what's currently in there. It's advisable to let this run right down to about sort of 400 miles, get it nice and low so that when you refill it, you're not putting new AdBlue in with old AdBlue, because there is a sort of a sell-by date on AdBlue. It does last for some time, but it's always good to have fresh AdBlue in there. If we then come down to the service requirements, so the brake fluid is due. The engine oil, like I say, it's not due to next year, but there's only 6,000 miles remaining, so we're going to do that. It'll have its vehicle check, which means it'll also have the fuel filter changed, and we're going to check on the brake pads to make sure there's plenty of life left on there. Sometimes they're not quite calibrated properly, so we're going to physically have them checked by the BMW guys, and he'll adjust it or replace them, whatever's needed to be done. And then we've got the pre-delivery inspection. So this was its first service, which was the engine oil and microfilter. Now the reason why this is in amber, and we will get this changed, is the first service isn't due till 19,000 miles or 2 years. But if you remember, we had a lot of lockdown problems back last year, and it was quite hard to get your car in on time. So if it was out by a couple of months or something, it comes up in amber. But I think that's a bit cruel, so we'll get that put back into the green, because it was done with it well within the mileage as well. And we're talking, look, 3 months, because 2021 April would have been the time, but it may be that they just couldn't get in, so that's fine. And like I say, the brake fluid is due on the 3rd year, so that will be done as well. So that'll all be up to date. It'll all go into the iDrive and onto the BMW database. We also do a diagnostic check on the car and make sure there's no fault codes in there. I mean, the car drives lovely. We've got the sound system here, the HARMAN KARDON with the graphic equalizer, and you can reset everything. This is for your touch screen. If we come out of there, if we go back in, so just also in this settings, you've got your driver profiles, so you can name these, and then it will, on that key, so whichever key you've got in the car, it will show you on here which key it is. It could be driver 1 or driver 2. You can then name the key, and once you've set the car up, your wing mirrors, your seat position, your radio stations, that key remembers everything. So if your partner then wants to use the car and they use the other key, it will memorize their seating positions, wing mirrors, telephone, radio stations, and driving information, owner's handbook in the car as well. Let's come out of there, actually, we don't need to go in there. Profiles. So this is where all your other settings are for speed warning, and then these settings here, dates, Unix, etc. Okay, so I'm going to put the lights on and turn the dimmer switch up. So this is the climate control down here. We've got heated seats, 3-stage heating like so, and so it's in white. So what we're going to do very quickly, lights, interior lighting, it's on sport, of course, because the lights work a lot faster in sport, don't they? And now you can see it lit in the amber underneath there. And if I just come under the door card, if I can, I think the camera on my phone is on the other side. There we go. You can just catch the amber light underneath the door cards there as well. So come out of there. Notifications. Oh, just incidentally, if we press this more than once, you can get these like this, and then you can put them in the order that's best for you. So basically, if we go into map now, I'm going to use the iDrive wheel. Over on the left here, we've got all the sub menus. I'll tell you what all the settings are in there, or the options I should say. Map views, in direction of travel, and then again using the numbered buttons, you could save this. You can save some of the windows, you can save telephone numbers, DAB stations if you wish, but I don't think you need to because they're all in alphabetical order. If we put it in perspective, we could save that one on number 8. So if you want to, they're shortcut buttons, that was what I was looking for. So if I press number 7 now, it will change the view at the touch of a button rather than having to go in and search for it. Shortcut to nav. If we put the address in, we've got 2 options. We can either use voice input, or like it shows you just over here, you can write with your finger. You have to learn to write left-handed if you're not already left-handed. If we're putting in our postcode, if you need a space, left to right.
Space.
And then you can carry on.
5 R Y.
And then that'll take you to the address. Fantastic. So that's that. I think we've showed you quite a lot of what's in here. So we'll come down. We've got the cup holders here, and then we've got the 8-speed gearbox, and we've got paddle shift up here. So if we come back into drive, we also have sport. Now you'll notice if I put this into sport, which is going to show us a different way. So we're in drive. If you put the gear stick lever over to the left, that puts us into sport on the gearbox. We've also got it in sport on the driving mode. Now if we go sport plus, which is the next one up, that'll bring on the traction control light, because it's taken some of the traction control off, the DTC, dynamic traction control, but you still have dynamic stability control engaged unless you press and hold this button at the front here. If you hold that for 5 seconds or 3 seconds, you can see it's now taken that off as well, because we've got 4-wheel drive on this car. It's a very intelligent 4-wheel drive as well, so it gauges when it needs to. And we've just gone into Economy Pro. Again, you can see the display has changed. It's going to show you how efficient. In fact, let's take the gearbox into drive. And at the bottom in blue, in the center there, you'll see it's got plus 0.2 of a mile. And as you use it, it will show you how many more miles to the gallon, or how many more miles you've got using that mode. If we come up onto the window here, you can configure Eco Pro. So down here it's at 85%. Let's put the climate control on in climate. If I take it off, see the blue vents, where the vents are. So it's a more gentle air conditioning, it's more efficient. Coasting allows the car to free roll up to junctions, so there's no engine braking. And if you bring your speed down, say to 60, your efficiency's gone up to 97%. If you drop down to 50, it goes to 100%. So you can get your maximum MPG. Oh, so it is sliding armrest, and you've got a USB just in there as well. But it's in really nice condition. I mean, there's no scratches or anything. Now, park's on the top here. If we put it into reverse, we've currently got the rear camera off, so I'm just going to put the rear camera on. So we can either have this view, and we can have parking guidelines. The red lines are your maximum turn, so if I turn the steering wheel, the green lines are where you're going to be, so that's the maximum you can turn in. So you can judge whether you're actually going to make it into somewhere before you actually reverse. You can see that the parking sensors show on this side. You've also got obstacle warnings, so they go from red, amber, green, depending how close you are. And then when we turn off the camera, oh, we are at the top, yeah. This is where you see the surround view. So this is using the mirrors underneath the wing mirrors and the rear camera to give you a view all around the car. And you can virtually, they say 360, the very front of the car. You can't see there, but then we have another set of cameras, and that's where we use this button here. And this is for when you're pulling out at a junction, and it shows you just here where the cameras are coming out. Let me just try and zoom in. That's the area it's showing you. So basically, if we look to the left, that truck or pickup, and then the white BMW over there, as you're pulling out, if there's traffic parked and you're coming out of a side road, you can flick those on, you can see down the road before you can physically see. So that's a really nice feature as well. So you can park your car straight and not get hit when you drive off. Right, let's come out of there. I think we've pretty much covered. We've got, let me just gonna flick through, sliding armrest. They've got the mirrors, the seats, yeah, the surround view. We've done all of that. The adaptive lights. So when the lights are in the auto position down here, now they're not going to come on at the moment, but you've got this little button down here that will engage the lights, and just up here you'll get a little green light with a headlight with an A, I think it is, on there, and that means they're engaged. And then using the camera just up here, the connective drive camera, when you turn to the left, the lights will turn with you. Also, we've got high beam assist, so when you're going along and you've got the main beam on, it will actually, with the adaptive lights, it will move the beam out of the way of the people coming towards you. So a very clever system that lights the road up really well, and they're very bright, so that's a real safe option to have. So, got speed limiter, cruise control, that's the mode button, etc. for the heads-up display. Just gonna jump out now. So the car's running, let's get it in focus. Like I say, car's just about to go in for a service. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it done before the video because it's August and everyone's taking time off to enjoy the weather, the children, etc. But that will be booked in. I think it's going in on Friday, so it'll all be done and ready on Friday. And if you want an update on anything, please give us a call. We've got lots of different finance packages, hire purchase, lease purchase, PCP. We have some fantastic warranty packages. The cars all come with a 6-month warranty, but it can be upgraded to a slightly different cover, which covers wear and tear, and it covers gaskets and fluid leaks. And you can take that with a claim limit up to the value of the car, and it's for as long as 4 years. It's got very, very high cover, and at a fraction of what BMW will charge you for a warranty. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. Look forward to speaking to you. Bye.